want you to put the word out there. We back up.
The movie begins exactly where the last one left off. Freeing Vin from the bus that was transporting him to prison left a ripple effect around all of America. The movie opens up in Brazil. I really need to go there one day, so whoever want to buy me a ticket, feel free. Mia and Paul drive through the city with the most relaxing music playing. I loved how this movie started. I just want to get it out there. This is the best looking Fast and Furious movie so far. The cinematography was impressive. You can tell it was shot on film. We pull up to Vin's house. You guys remember Vince from the first movie? The gang enjoys a nice meal. Vince tells Paul he has an easy job for them to do and he should pull up. Paul was like, I need the money, so let's do it. But before we get to that, you guys should know that Mia is pregnant. What? The amount of acrobatics she did in this movie had me stressed for the baby. But she's Dom's sister, so you know she can handle herself. So we're on the train. The job is to steal some high-end cars, but the way they went about acquiring them was fire. You see, they drilled a hole through the side of the train moving 100 miles per hour, attached the car on the truck, and just harpooned it on. So smooth. But let's go back. Who was on the other side standing ready to get the job done? Nobody other than Vin himself. What? That pull-up was crazy. This dude started yelling at everybody, and you know, Dom don't like people talking to him crazy. So he let his sister take the first car. There's a reason for this, but we'll get there. Angry dude got tight and tried to take Vin out, so everybody started throwing hands. Dude on the truck was trying to go after Mia, but Paul couldn't allow that, so he went after them. Dom stays behind fighting everybody. He's literally a one-man army. Paul tries to handle the guy in the truck, but the handlebar got stuck and is smashed into the train. Now Paul has nowhere to go, but here comes Dom to the rescue. If someone could tell me the name of the car Dom is driving, I think it's one of the best looking cars I've seen. Paul jumps to his rescue and the guys fall off a cliff with the army of guns waiting for them at the bottom. So Vin and Paul gets caught. Evil guy came in and was like, where's the car? And Vin was like, you'll never find it. And Evil man was like, are you sure about that? And stormed off. Paul and Vin breaks free and they reunite with Mia. Now we need to figure out what's so special about this car. But before that, we cut to the infamous Agent Hobbs. Listen, just because I haven't seen these movies does not mean I don't know these iconic characters. Hobbs was like, I'm gonna do everything to bring down Dom's crew, but I need a translator. Anyway, let me introduce you to the villain of this movie, Reyes. His philosophy is to dominate the people through kindness. He believes that since he supplies the people in the favelas with the basic necessities such as food, water, and schooling, he owns them and can get them to do whatever he wants. Probably the biggest bad guy we've had so far in these movies. We cut back to the warehouse and Dom sees Vince trying to steal this chip out of the car. That's what the job was for. Reyes' crew wanted this single chip. Vince tried to convince Dom to let him give the chip to Reyes so this could all be over. And Dom was like, nah, we're keeping it. Vince then goes off on a tirade on how horrible their lives have been. But the part that hurts the most was when he asked Dom, where's Letty? My man had nothing to say. Hobbs and crew figured out where Dom was staying and head over to confront them. Back in the base, the crew figured out what was on the chip. Basically, it contained Reyes safe houses. Each safe house held over $10 million. So if we add up all the locations that were on the chip, we'll have a total of $100 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, but that's chump change to me. Both Reyes crew and Hobbs crew found our location. So we're running through the favelas like it's MW2, and we somehow managed to get free without a scratch. In the scuffle, however, a few things happened. Dom and Hobbs meet for the first time. It was like love at first sight. Elena, Hobbs' translator, confronts Dom, but he saves her life and ran. He did drop his chain in the process. Mia and Paul had this huge jump, and I'm like, Mia, the baby. Vin tries to split the crew up, which is the worst move you can possibly make in a movie, and Mia decides to finally tell them that she's pregnant. Family. Paul and Vin have a nice moment on the roof talking about their father. Vin's father was an active member in his life, while Paul can't remember anything about his. Paul tells Vin he cannot keep running, and Vin was like, we're gonna use the chip and take all of Reyes' money. This is where the movie truly starts to shine. In order to take down someone as powerful as Reyes, the gang is going to need a team. All the goats from the previous movies come together as a unit, and I absolutely love this idea. Tyrese and Luda was the first to show up. When Gazelle, aka Wonder Woman, showed up, Tyrese said the wildest thing to her. He said,
"Sexy legs, baby girl. What time do they open?"
what? My two Spanish bros pulled up. They're mad funny. Then here comes my GOAT. What is Hans doing in these movies? Someone said in my Tokyo Drift review that Tokyo Drift was actually the last movie in the franchise. Is that true? Let me know. So everybody gets together. I personally love seeing them all hang out. It felt organic, but why was Tyrese looking at Dom like that? Do they know each other? Anyway, the gang pulled up to the first safe house, set all the money on fire, and told this poor employee, we coming for all of it. Tell Reyes who burned his money. If you think about it, this plan is actually genius, because instead of going to each house individually, they created a narrative by burning the cash in the first safe house, so all the other safe houses could get the message and move the money to one location, making it easier to grab. Really good plan if you ask me. Okay, let's go back to Hobbs. Hobbs and his team figures out that a chip was missing from the car after reassembling it, and they learn that Dom's crew is trying to rob Reyes. The employee tells Reyes what happened and he kills the messenger. Reyes decides to move all his money into the police station, making the job 1,000 times harder. Tyrese pulls up to the police station, drops off a package which contained a little mini truck with a camera attached, and they were able to assess the situation. The money is being held behind a safe made of pure vibranium. Let's pause for a moment. I feel bad for this poor man. Imagine you're at work, chilling on your bathroom break, texting your shorty or watching some highlights. You're having the time of your life right now, and bam, the whole toilet blows up on you, doo-doo everywhere. What do you do at this point? Anyway, let's get back to the movie. After the bathroom fiasco, the Spanish bros install a camera into the police station parking lot because the safe is in the same location but behind a wall. You see, the crew needs a car fast enough to bypass these cameras, so we head off to find some cars. We finally get the Fast and Furious moment. You know, cars, beautiful women, and partying. Vin and Paul pulls up like two celebrities and everyone is calling Vin a legend. Vin sees a car he likes and just took it from bro. They didn't even need to show the race. We already know who won. The crew then have a Tokyo Drift moment where they're trying to be fast enough to not be noticed by the cameras. Everybody's nice at drifting, but Wonder Woman did it the best. DK got nothing on her. The crew somehow manages to get the exact same safe that Reyes has his money in because they want to do a little switcheroo. Gazelle and Hans head off to get Reyes' fingerprints, but it was easy for Gazelle because, you know, she bad. The crew then realizes that Hobbs is onto them, and I mean all of them, and they had to confront him to let him know that they're not scared of him. This part was fire because Hobbs really tried to pull up in there like he's about to do something, talking about, you under arrest, Toretto. Dom was like, yeah, okay. And look at Paul, he not even looking at them. Straight aura from everybody in the scene. Hobbs is like, you coming with me, boy. Dom was like, do you know where you at? This is Brazil. And everybody pull out the Smitty. Hobbs is like, alright, you got aura. I'm gonna fall back for now. The crew put a tracker on Hobbs' truck and he drives away. And now everybody is tracking each other. Dom pulls up on Elena because she was holding his chain. But I'm feeling these two. They look good together. The crew snagged 4 cop cars and they have a nice little race. Paul finally beat Dom in a race and I was excited for him. Only for the guys to be like, Dom, you let him win, right? Nah, I think Paul got the W. So Mia is outside walking gracefully picking up some mangoes. And Vince pulls up and tell her that she's being pursued by Reyes' crew. He saves her life. We head back to the base. Vin was like, you hungry? Let's eat. Now, personally, I thought this was a setup from Vince, but nah, he was just being genuine. The crew have a nice cookout. Mia announces that she's pregnant and Dom lets everybody know that the most important thing in life is family. I completely agree. Okay, so now we're at the climax of the movie and things get serious. As half the crew pulls off to execute the job, Hobbs pull up on Dom and it was like, we found your little tracker. You coming with me? And they had one of the wildest fight scenes. Like, they were really going at it. Throwing each other through the wall, through concrete, straight body slams. This fight was insane. Mia had to beg Dom to stop because, let's be honest, at some point Hobbs' crew would have stepped in. The gang is now arrested, and as they were being transported, an RPG came out of nowhere and just... So they got ambushed by Reyes' crew, and this time they were not playing. They completely wiped out Hobbs' crew. This part had me stressed. But the main team managed to get free and help put a stop to the onslaught of attacks. Vin and Hobbs grab hands and we got away safely. Vince got shot and tell Dom to take care of his baby boy. Back in the warehouse, the crew tries to convince Dom to call off the job, but Vin was like, nah, we not doing that. Reyes cannot get away with this. Hobbs was like, I'm in, so let's do it. Vin was like, I bet, so we're done sneaking around. We're going in hot. This part of the movie is absolutely chaos. Like, I can't believe they got away with this because they caused so much property damage that it's insane. Anyway, let's talk about it. So the crew breaks into the police station and attach the safe to the cars, and they cause more destruction than Superman and Man of Steel. Either way, this ending sequence was fantastic. Paul saves Dom's life. Hobbs casually kills Reyes. He didn't even look at him, and he tells Vin and Paul to leave the safe and run along. So they did. Hobbs looked in the safe, and guess what? Nothing was there. The crew did a little switcheroo after all. We got all the money in the world. Dom leaves some for Vin's kid. The Spanish bros gamble at the casino. Ludacris and Tyrese flex their new cars. Hans and Gazelle make love while driving 1,000 miles per hour. And Paul lives the quiet life with Mia. Vin pulls up with Elena to say hi, and Paul was like, "Race me, bro, one more time." And Vin was like, "Let's do it." And this is the ending to my new favorite Fast and Furious movie. But wait, there was an end scene. Yo, let me tell you, in the end scene, they were like, "Letty is alive." What? Nah, I'm hyped for the next one. Let's go. Realistically speaking, this is a movie about family and where we end up when everything around us goes up in flames. Our characters were not in a good place in the beginning of this movie, literally sleeping in warehouses, being hunted by militia, but one thing they had was each other, and it was through this unity that they made it out to paradise in the end. Now, how long will this paradise last? Let's see what happens in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you, my Enigmas. See you in Fast 6.